your home may be using, losing, and wasting energy without you even knowing it, and that can lead to high energy bills.
Well, lucky for us, Stephen Long is the owner of GSM Services. He joins us with ways to make our home more efficient.
Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
What are some signs that your home might not be energy efficient, or that the climate might not be right inside your house?
Well, there can be a lot of signs, especially here in the South. Some that we see would be things like excessive high humidity in the house, rooms that are too hot or too cold, drafty rooms during the winter. That's just to name a few.
Okay.
What's the best way to do a test?
Well, what we have found over the years, that air leakage is something that have always been going on in a house, but we didn't really have good ways to test for it. So what we have here is a couple of tools that we use to help find out what's going on in the house. This is a blower door. Now, exactly what we do with this, we install this in an exterior door, and we turn this big fan on. It actually creates a pretty high negative pressure inside the house. And what that allows us to do is actually go inside and we can measure exactly how much air is leaking out of the house. That's exactly what it does.
Right.
You can do it the other way, but it's more effective when you can pull a negative pressure on the house. So when this fan is running, not only do we know exactly how much air is leaking, we can go in and pinpoint exactly where it's leaking.
It's perfect. That's what you want.
That's exactly right. So we're able to come up with a good plan on how to fix that. Now, another tool that we use that's relatively new for our industry is what we call a thermal imaging camera.
Right.
Now, thermal imaging camera allows us to look and see some things that in the past were unseen. We can look into walls without having to remove any drywall or anything damaging to the home, and we can see where there might be a lack of insulation, where ducts might be leaking, and then maybe excessive air leakage as well without having to do anything serious to the house.
So with that, you can see right into the wall?
Absolutely.
That's pretty neat. I bought one of those little doodads that show you like the heat, or as far as drafts goes, but I could see where I had the draft.
Right.
But then the next step, I didn't know what to do. So that's why someone like you is very important.
Exactly.
Well, absolutely.
Can you tell us, heating and cooling systems, they seem to run continuously and turn on and off frequently. Why is that?
Well, there can be a number of reasons. Typically, probably the biggest reason that we see is that the systems are typically just not sized properly, either too big or too small. If they're too large for the house, then it's going to cut on and off a lot. If it's too small for the house, it's not going to it's going to run continuously.
Okay.
Other reasons are things that I've already mentioned, things like lack of insulation in the house. Duct leakage is a real issue in our area that can cause that. And then the whole home air leakage is something else that you see that can cause systems to not run properly.
And all this can lead to higher bills, energy bills, and that's what we don't want.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, almost every home, the air conditioning and heating system is absolutely the biggest energy user in a home. So all these things that we've talked about can influence how well the heating and cooling system operates. Again, just like we said before, if it's not sized properly, if there's excessive duct leakage, a lot of air leakage within the house, lack of insulation, all those things determine how well that system operates and how efficiently it operates. So what we can do now with all these tools, we can come in and do a whole home energy evaluation and really determine what is the best plan and the best things to do to improve that. Okay, maybe the old days we used to just say you got to replace the heating and air conditioning system.
Right.
Well, now that's a little bit different. We can come in and say, well, let's come up with a plan. It might be air leakage, it might be duct leakage. That's the best thing to do. We might not necessarily have to have a homeowner invest in that expensive air conditioning system.
So expensive, yes.
Absolutely. So we can come in and do a long-term plan and really come up with the best way to solve those issues.
And it can lower your bill. It's good stuff. Thank you so much for your time today. GSM Services is a third-generation family-owned business. You can find them at GSMsince1927.com. That is the website. It's there on your screen. You can jot it down, GSMsince1927.com. You can also call 704-864-0344, 704-864-0344. Thank you so much for visiting us today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time. All right, still ahead on Charlotte Today this morning, a cool use for a wine glass, a funky addition to your child's bike helmet, and how you can use your drill to polish your shoes.
Very interesting, but first, the mom behind the popular 100 Days of Real Food blog is cooking in the Food Lion kitchen. Lisa Leak will share her recipe for a healthier macaroni and cheese.